right, I'm gonna get started.
Okay.
I'll admit people if they continue to join. All right, so we want to welcome all the parents who have joined us. I am Miss Smick. I am the science and math teacher.
I am Vicki Shakovsky. I am the ELA and social studies reading teacher. Miss Green?
Oh, sorry, I'm trying to close caption. Hi, I'm Mrs. Green. I'm the intervention specialist.
Ms. Banco, if you want to introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Danielle Benko. I'm one of the intervention specialists.
Okay. 1 second. Schoology has a Schoology code of conduct. So while on Schoology, what I say and how I say it will be school appropriate. And if parents can just please reiterate this to your kids. I will use post to discuss school-related content only. I will use a respectful tone of voice when posting. All school rules and consequences related to harassment also apply to Schoology. I will use appropriate grammar instead of texting language. I will not reveal any personal information on Schoology. This includes telephone numbers, addresses, emails, etc. Posting and replying messages or comments. So when kids post or reply to messages in our discussion board, post a note to the whole group if your question is about something the whole group should know. So something pertaining to assignments, instruction, due dates, and such. You can send a note only to one of us teachers if you want to talk about something that doesn't relate to everyone. Don't post questions or comments about personal issues or topics. You want to keep those private. If they need to speak with us about those things, they can certainly direct message us. Keep your conversations on topic. If you're not sure if a word, joke, or image is okay, then it's probably not. Do not write posts that tease, bully, annoy, spam, or gossip about any other person. And could I interject a moment, Ms. Mick, before you
Yeah, no problem.
continue? Parents, at the bottom, you can actually look at your screens, and there is a part for closed captioning. If you'd like to turn that on, Mrs. Green is typing as we write. She is not going to be typing things that are on the PowerPoint itself, though. Okay.
Also continuing with the Schoology Code of Conduct, we are addressing inappropriate content. If you think there's something inappropriate posted on Schoology, please tell me or Ms. Shakovsky right away. We don't want any bullying or teasing or anything inappropriate posted. We also have the ability to approve things before they get posted. So we will be monitoring that as well. If something's inappropriate, we can see it before it gets posted in most situations, not always. And then again, we already discussed punctuation and grammar. We don't want texting lingo on school assignments. You don't need to put BRB for be right back or any kind of texting lingo. You can do that to your friends. Please don't do it on school assignments. Don't put your sentences in all capital letters. That's considered shouting. Do not end sentences with more than one exclamation mark, question mark, period. And then please don't repeat a word more than once. We're just asking, try your best to use the correct grammar and punctuation.
Okay, so we have some online classroom rules. We're expecting our kids to be dressed, groomed in a manner appropriate for the classroom. Have all the materials ready for class. This includes writing supplies, books, required notes. Set up a location with minimal distractions. So maybe no virtual backgrounds. Set up a location, oh, I'm sorry. That's repeated, sorry. Remain seated at your workstation for the entirety of the session. Be on time. Class starts at the scheduled meeting time, which we have set for 8:30. Allow yourself a couple minutes before to set up your workspace, supplies, audio, video, etc. A nice thing to do is to go through like a run through to make sure your audio and video is working. Be respectful of the learning process. Holding up any items, signs, or pictures that are not necessary for the lesson is unacceptable. only chat with the teacher. Messaging with other students during a lesson at any other time designated by the teacher for discussion is not acceptable. So I want to have parents remind their kids that all of our sessions are recorded. Our principal, assistant principal can join in our sessions at any time just to check up on our daily lessons and how students are performing both academically and behaviorally. If during any lesson, if a student has a question for a teacher or response to another student's question or response, we're asking that the students there's a little icon at the bottom of their screen where they would raise their hand. It's a virtual raise your hand. On the Teams link that we will be using, and wait until you're called upon. After your question, please remember then to mute yourself. Sometimes if you forget to mute yourself, we hear a lot of echoing and background noise, and so it can disrupt the lesson. Each class session will be divided into live instruction, in which you will interact with your teacher for a specific time frame, and also an independent learning time frame, at which time you are expected to continue working, but through an independent style of learning. There will be additionally breakout sessions in which a teacher such as Ms. Benko or Mrs. Green may pull you out and do small groups. Ms. Smick and myself can do the same thing as well. And you'll work with each other on assignments or with the teacher in the breakout rooms.
I do want to mention that you do not have to wear school dress code.
No.
But we're asking that you wear appropriate clothing if you're on your video. You don't have to wear polos, you don't have to wear the pants, but you need to be fully dressed if your video is on. We don't want to see anything inappropriate, so please make sure your kids are fully dressed when they're on their online schooling. And then also, I wanted to mention, you can send in the chat message privately to me as the host. If you could give us an updated email and phone number for those of you who are joining us, that would be great. You don't need to send it to everyone in the chat. You can send it so it just goes to me. There's an option to change it so it doesn't go to everyone.
I think the host is listed as Mr. Clay, though.
Yes, so you'll put Mr. Clay, but I am technically the host. And for those of you joining us late, I'm Ms. Smick. I'm the science and math teacher.
I'm Vicki Shakovsky. I'm the ELA Social Studies and Reading teacher.
I'm Debbie Green. I'm the intervention specialist.
I'm Danielle Benko, one of the intervention specialists.
Right, back to you, Ms. Shakovsky.
And if you, hold on one second. If you put your emails in, we actually have a PowerPoint at the end that Ms. Smick is going to go through. That's a nice, quick tutorial on getting into Schoology. Anybody that sends us their email in the chat directly just to the host, which is listed as Rushing Clay, we will send the PowerPoint as well. Okay, so we have a new curriculum this year. It's ELA Education. The district has purchased a K-8 ELA platform. It focuses on character, mastery of knowledge and skills, and high quality student work. In this platform, there are several modules, and within each module, it is broken up into units. And so I have an example up here of Unit 1, Unit 2, and Unit 3. And so Unit 1 is focused on building background knowledge, and then we continue to build. And Unit 2 is extended reading and research, and then Unit 3 is the writing aspect. There is in each unit, you will have the students will have a mid-unit assessment, and then they will have an end of the unit assessment. Okay, next screen. In social studies, we have the textbook History Alive. We are going to be using an online version of that. We also have the Ohio Studies Weekly newspaper, which also has an online version of it, which I actually put a picture over there. I have already entered all of your students' information into the Ohio Studies Weekly. And so when we start school next Tuesday, I will give them their login information for that. And then we'll also be using the WRHS, which is the Western Reserve Historical Society Youth Entrepreneurship Education.
So next, I'm again the math teacher. Math vocabulary is going to be introduced with each learning standard that's new. I'm going to begin the year by teaching ratios and proportional relationships. So a ratio builds off students' prior knowledge in 5th and 4th grade on fractions. Pretty much an example would be for every 2 girls, there's 1 boy. That's kind of what it's going to look like. Ratio built off fractions though. And we're also going to discuss rates in the first unit I'm going to be discussing, which is a comparison of 2 numbers. So for example, I could be like, Sam makes 3 pancakes every 6 minutes. I'd want to know, well, how long does it take Sam to make 1 pancake? So that's an example of what I'll be teaching at the start of the year in math. Students are also going to be completing lessons and problem-solving strategies using our new math series. It's called Into Math. There's a picture of what it's going to look like on your screen. I did tell parents in my homeroom that I thought books were going to be available for our computer pickup. It turns out books are not at the school yet, so we're not going to have books on the first day of school. We will get that information to you as soon as possible when we do receive it. But again, there's no consumable workbooks yet at the school. I thought there was going to be, so I misspoke to some parents on my homeroom roster. I'm also going to be having students do assignments on Khan Academy, which I know they used in 5th grade with Miss McGowan. And then also we have a new platform called Waggle Math, which I'm going to show students how to use as well. I'm also the science teacher. Students have been using the same kind of book ever since they got to R.G. Jones and across the district. It's called Science Fusion. I start the day off with a daily warm-up. It's always over concepts I have already taught. We always go over the new vocabulary for each lesson. I also have a new platform I'm going to use with science to assign activities as well called Newsella Science. The articles will go along with what is being taught in class.
Ms. Banco and Mrs. Green, we will assist the 6th grade team in small group instructions for students who are identified with IEPs. We will contact you directly and we will provide regular updates for your child through progress reports and report cards.
Okay, excuse me. The attendance policy that we have right now in place for the remote learning is that remote learners working with or without technology will be considered present if paper packets, assignments, or projects are submitted on time. If your child misses the live class in the learning management system, which we're using Schoology, your child has until the end of the school day to log in and watch the recorded session for the day. Your child's login will be used as evidence that he or she was present.
Give me one moment, Ms. Shakovsky. I'm sending something in the chat.
Hi, Ms. Shakovsky and Ms. Smick. I wanted to add a little bit to that attendance policy. First, I appreciate all of you joining us this morning. We're very excited to see you all on Tuesday. The attendance, it's so important that your children attend virtually or go back and watch the videos at a time. But if you are truly struggling with trying to meet the time constraints because you're working or anything along those lines, please reach out. We do not want to add to your stress. We want all our kids to learn. We want them to be present in whatever form they can be. So please reach out if you need any help with that. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so next we have like a little student workspace at home. We're not saying you have to do this. It's just an idea. It's an example of a small workspace that you could provide a school atmosphere with at home. We're just saying keep your school materials in a place that's easy to access, that are close to you. Keep your Chromebooks on a solid surface so that they don't overheat. If you use headphones, it's going to keep and block out noise. We just want to make sure you keep your Chromebooks in a place where they're not going to get damaged, they're easy to access. So they're showing it's called a science board or a trifold board, which you can use to block off, to make a little space for yourself. We're not saying you have to do this. It's just an idea that's inexpensive. You don't have to do it. It's just a suggestion.
Okay, so the supplies for the first quarter are pretty basic. Notebook, filler paper for the kids to write on and things, especially if they are working on an assignment that they need to either take a screenshot of and send to us, showing proof that they completed it, a calculator, graph paper, ruler, obviously pen, pencil, highlighters. We did want to add that if for any reason you need additional school supplies, you can contact one of us or our site coordinator, Kelly Hatkus.
But please try and contact us first. We don't want Ms. Hackus to get overwhelmed with a bunch of emails. So we'll try to assist you first. If we can't assist you, then we can go to Ms. Hackus. This is our contact information. Those of you we've reached out to and got a hold of, you've received emails from us and phone calls. Again, we're still asking if you can send in the chat an up-to-date email and phone number. That'd be fantastic. You don't need to send it to everyone. You can send it individually to just the host. The host will be, it's Mr. Clay. It's not our actual names. So if you don't want everyone to get your email or phone number, you can send it to just the host.
Can you step back one moment? I
Yeah.
did want to cover my, all the parents that I've called have my cell phone number. I am absolutely available. The only thing that I ask is that your child is not permitted to call me. Your child may only text me. As a parent, you may certainly call me at any time. Texting is probably the best. If I'm out of a service area, I will see an alert for a text when it comes through, but my cell phone is there, and any parent that I contacted has that number as well. Thank you.
So next is how students are going to log into Clever. I have another slideshow I'm going to show after this that shows you step-by-step details on how you will do this. Those of you we've reached out to already, we have given you your student logins. You have their emails, their usernames, their passwords. Something new that we learned today, though, is you don't need to worry about lunch codes. Any student who shows up at a school will get a lunch. Our CEO, Eric Gordon, said don't worry about lunch codes. So that's something you don't have to worry about. I know it was mentioned before, but it's new. Don't worry about the lunch code. All right, and I'm going to change the slideshow over to a different one to show you how to access Schoology.
Slideshow.
Yeah, I know. This toolbar is blocking me from starting it.
Oh,
I don't know if I can get it to minimize. Let's do it.
maybe exit out of the other one.
There we go. I got it.
Okay.
All right, so this is a step-by-step. Those of you who send us your emails, we're going to send you the slideshow at the end of our presentation, but this is showing you exactly how your students are going to get on Clever to get to Schoology for us to be able to virtually teach them. So this you don't have to, this is for younger kids. If you have anyone in grades K-2 who are receiving the iPads, you will find on their screen a Clever app. All you do is touch it and it's going to open and change the screen. But I'm also going to show you what you will see on students' Chromebooks. So on students' Chromebooks on the desktop, you will see a Clever icon. All you have to do is click on it. This is for anyone grades 3 and up. We've just put grades 3 through 8 since RG Jones is grades pre-K to 8, but high school is going to be the same way if you have any high schoolers. So once you click on that Clever app, it's going to take you to this screen. You're going to click on Login with Active Directory. You can also log in with Clever. I'm going to explain both ways of how you log in with whichever option you choose. I'm going to start by showing you Login with Active Directory. So if you choose this first option, Login with Active Directory, it's going to bring you to this screen. Well, this is the information. I'll show you what the screen looks like next. So when you get to that screen, you're going to type in your student's email address, which is usually your first name, period, your last name at cmsdk12.org. Some of you have juniors or other things that are on your name. If we've called you, you have that information, how some of yours are not just first and last name. Your students also have a unique password. That password cannot be changed. Only your child's homeroom teacher has access to that password. You can reach out to us at any time to get that password if you need. They are case sensitive though. If there's uppercase letters, you have to make sure it's uppercase. If it's a lowercase letter, it has to be lowercase. And please don't share your login or passwords with any of your friends. That is your information for you to access your schooling. You don't want others to be able to access your schoolwork. The other kind of screen you can see is Login with Clever. This is a different way of logging in, and if Ms. Shikoski, you want to read this slide, you can.
You want me to read this? I'm sorry.
Yep.
Okay, your student's homeroom teacher has their login. And any parent that I contacted, I gave all of you their login information. Each student has a unique password that cannot be changed. Homeroom teachers have this. Passwords are case sensitive. And again, do not share your login or password.
All right, so once you have logged in either using Active Directory or the Clever login, this is what my screen looks like. Your students is going to be a little different. It's not going to say BSMIC. It's going to say their first initial and their last name, but their screen is going to look the exact same as this, just with their name. So then we ask that you scroll down to your instant login applications, and you will see one that says Schoology. Your students or your scholars are not going to have as many options as I do. They're probably just going to see the Schoology, maybe 2 other options, but you will select the one that has the blue circle and the S in the middle that says Schoology. Once you select that, your screen will look like this. This is, of course, my course screen. Theirs is going to look a little different than mine. They're going to have more classes since I'm just the math and science teacher. I don't have access to their English and social studies. But once you get to this screen, you know that you've made it successfully into the correct portal. I'm going to end the sharing, and we're going to open it up to any questions we might have. So right now I just see messages of emails and phone numbers, but if anyone has any questions, they can unmute themselves and ask them, or you can put it in the chat box.
I have a question.
Yes.
We got 5 kids that go to that school, and we were supposed to be in meetings with all 5 kids at the same time. What do we do about like the other students that we have we're supposed to be videoing right now?
So they're going to have those sessions recorded. You can watch them at a later time.
Okay.
They're also you can go ahead, Mr. Kowski.
Well, when I was looking at the schedule, I thought they were every 30 minutes. So I didn't see 2 scheduled. I could be wrong. I didn't see 2 scheduled at the same time. I thought it was like 10, 10:30, 11, that kind of thing in 30-minute increments. But again, the sessions are recorded, and you can certainly message us, and we can get in contact with your teacher if you have questions as well.
Someone just sent in the chat what time is lunch. So on our schedule, lunch is set for 10:30 to 12:10 because we do know that we have some students who are walking up to the school to go pick up lunches. Now during that lunchtime though, it is expected that students are doing independent work since it does overlap with class time. We are giving 100 minutes though for lunch, but we're also expecting independent work to be completed during that time, because we do know that we have students and families who walk up to the school to get lunches. Do we have any other questions?
Students will be given a schedule next Tuesday when we log in.
We're also going to make sure, our first thing when we have students log in on Tuesday is making sure students understand how to fully get to each thing. So I know Mr. Kowski mentioned how you can raise a hand. We're going to explain step by step how you can actually raise that hand when you're in the online video Teams meeting. We know we're throwing a lot of information at you at once, so we are sending both slideshows to all the emails we have for parents. So please make sure if you haven't sent your email that you do that in the chat. You can send it just to me privately, or some people have sent it to everyone. It's your choice which way you want to send it though. But we still have a few more minutes for questions because we know some parents have to go to another meeting at 10:30.
I have a question.
Yes.
Is there going to be like a detailed way that parents are able to get in and see everything? You know, so
Yeah.
my child and I are on the same page when I can walk away from him, because I have a kindergartner as well. So
Yes. So parents are each going to get access to their child's Schoology. We don't have those parent logins yet, but as soon as we do have the parent logins, we will get that information off to you. It will allow you to see everything that we assign to them, the parent can see. So you'll be able to see their grades. You'll be able to see their assignments. You'll be able to see our comments on the assignments they've submitted.
okay. And then you said attendance is taken by making sure that they're watching that full lesson each day,
Yes. So
or is it at a certain time every day they have to be logged in?
we understand that some parents work and that those who have younger kids, we understand 8:30, maybe your kid can't log in at 8:30. So we're asking, okay, we can work with you as long as your kid watches that video and does that assignment. We're going to mark them as they're here at the school, like for attendance. You're present. We're not, because we know some parents have the younger kids who can't log in at the early time. So we're saying you can do it at nighttime. We still count you as being present.
Okay, that's comforting.
We're here to help you in any way we can because we know that this is very stressful. I mean, we're stressed out as the teacher, so we can't imagine those who have their kids who are enrolled. It's way more stressful.
You guys are doing the right thing, though.
Thank you. Any other questions we can answer? We know this is a lot of information.
There were a couple participants that just joined us, and I want to let you know that our session is just about to end. However, we do have a PowerPoint that we can send you showing you step by step how to get your child logged into Schoology. If you would put your email in the chat box, but address it to just the host. If the host is listed as Rasheen Clay, we can get you those PowerPoints to you.
What is the password for the, so I can get on the laptop? I'm on my phone right now.
So for the laptop, that's going to be your child's email and their password. So
No, for the meeting for 7th grade.
Oh,
does
I
anyone
don't,
have that email up?
I can hold on. If you can hold on in this session a second, I can get a hold of one of the 7th, 8th grade teams. I know they're getting ready to start their session now.
Okay,
Hold
thank
on.
you.
You're welcome.
We have a few more minutes, though, if we have
We
any
have
more
the
questions.
password. Are we, is it all the same password?
I believe they're
Is
all
it all
the
the
same
passwords?
passwords. I can look. Let me pull it up on my phone, my email.
Been down. Wait a minute, man.
I know we have a master list.
He's not answering. Try Rockets at 2020.
No, I don't think that's it. They're looking for 7th grade.
I know they need the key.
I have the passcode. I have it up. I will send the passcode.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to send the passcode. Let's see, to everyone in the meeting. It's going to be 8321. Those of you trying to join the 7th and 8th grade meeting, I just sent the passcode in the chat. If you need the meeting ID, I can send that as well.
Maybe go ahead and just send the meeting ID.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
We are excited to meet all of you, though, because our time is up and we know that some of you are joining. So we can't wait to see all of your students on Tuesday. And remember, we're here to help you in any way we can.
Absolutely.
So those of you who need to log out and go to the next meeting, you can do that if you have to. Unless you still have questions, we'll hang around to answer them.
Did you enter the key code?
I'm still typing it.
All right. You can take a picture of that if you want.
Oh, you're welcome for all the communication. Then we have a question about after-school programs. Ms. Hackus did mention to us after-school programs. They want to get them started again. We're not sure exactly when that's going to happen yet, so I unfortunately cannot give you an answer to that question yet, but we can try and get an answer for you. Oh, is that for running club? Is that the question? I know I was in charge of running club. I don't know if that's what the question's about.
I'm not sure on the after-school programs. We're not quite certain on how that is going to roll out. We're hoping that we are back at school second quarter, but we're going to have to just play that by ear. And that goes to the question somebody asked about after-school programs once we start back to school.
If the question was related to the track running club, though, I am in charge of running club. I have not heard from the YMCA if we're going to be able to do that again. It did get stopped in March, unfortunately, so we didn't do any of our races. I have been in contact with the YMCA though, and they have not decided if we get to do running club yet again this year. I know I met quite a few of the 5th graders though through running club, and they had a lot of fun with it. Do we have any last minute questions though? Because we're at the end of our meeting time.
Don't end the session just yet.
I know.
Ms. Smith,
Yeah,
I want to get, there's
Yeah,
a
we have,
couple emails I want to grab.
I have to write down all the ones that are just to me as well. So if you do the ones to everyone, Ms. Shakowski, I'll do the ones to just me.
I have Ms. Perez's email previously, so I just needed Rachel Holman, hers.
I'll send them in a private message so we don't say them out loud for everyone.
Okay. I think those are the only two. Did you get more emails besides the two?
I have private ones. I can send them to all of us
Okay,
in a group chat because I don't want
that's fine.
anyone's information.
What about speech IP? I'm not sure.
Oh, is this for the green?
It's not, it's speech IP. We do have a student that has a speech IP, and I'm not sure.
I would say that Miss Batney would be contacting them.
Correct, but what I'll do is I'll check. Who was that sent that message?
Andreas's mother.
Okay, so I'll have to get back with you. I'll write that down as a note to follow up.
We will get the information for the speech IEP. We will ask the appropriate person to get that answer for you.
I'm sure it'll be a virtual meeting, I would think, but
All right, I have all the emails. So we want to thank you again for joining us. Again, I am one of the homeroom teachers for 6th grade. I am the math and science teacher. Ms. Shakowski is our other homeroom teacher who teaches the English and social studies. And we can't wait to see you guys on Tuesday. So you'll be getting emails from us shortly with all of this information as well. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
have a
Thank you.
great day.